Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do for a video for you guys and gals today. Get a sip of water, get my radio voice going. Yes, I cut myself shaving. It happens. Alright, let's get over to the video topic. You know, I made a couple videos discussing the ice bath thing and cold therapy, and a lot of people tried to argue with me on it. And I find it interesting because there is no argument for this, meaning it's obviously a con. It's the most ridiculous thing, and if you know anything about basic exercise science, it should be blaringly obvious that this is a very bad idea for training soreness or inflammation from training. Right? You shouldn't be doing it. It's silly. I don't care what the other benefits are. I am aware it is used for other things. However, we need to be very, very clear on this. Medically speaking, based on evidence and what we have out there, cold should not be applied to any tissues that you need to adapt to any form of training or exercise. Okay? And when I said this, people argue about all sorts of stuff. They argue about medical stuff and immunity and discipline and whatever else, and nobody cares. That's irrelevant to the argument. Right? Because why bother to train if you're going to undo the training response? And that's kind of my point. Now, Michael Hooper chimed in, world's strongest man. He is also a kinesiologist, and he has said, look, people need to stop doing this from training recovery. All right, it's one thing if you're talking about after a sports match, because you're not trying to get bigger, stronger, faster, improve your endurance in an NFL game, right? When you are at the Super Bowl, your goal of the Super Bowl is to win. You're not trying to use the Super Bowl to improve tissues in your body, to adapt them to training. But when you go running, you are. When you lift weights, you are. When you practice throwing a baseball for 6 hours straight, you're doing it to improve certain skills and to improve tissues in your body. The cold is a real bad idea. And he tries to explain that to people, and it's interesting because I've been saying it and I've got people acting like they can argue about it as if they have any ground. You have no physical ground for this argument. They'll argue with me about it. I even had someone say, well, doctors in Sweden have children do it for their fevers. What in the fuck does that have to do with training? Sorry, I had to do that. Like, my response is, how fucking stupid are you? What in the holy fuck does that have to do with lifting weights or running? Jesus fucking Christ, you people are stupid. That is the only thing I can respond to. It's like, wow. There you go. You guys are getting a little bit of me just coming out going, I'm just baffled at the sheer fucking stupidity. Because some Scandinavian doctors use it for children with a fever, you should go jump in an ice bath after you lift weights. Are you mentally fucking retarded? Is this Cali muscle? I mean, this is like the sort of argument Cali muscle would make for something. I guess this is our reason to eat raw, nothing but watermelon for a month straight and do 7-day fast. Okay, that's the level of logic you're at. So people want to argue with me, but now Michael Hooper's going to come out with it. And I'm hoping that there will be some common sense, because instead of Jason Blaha talking about science and basic biology, we now have the world's strongest man, who's a kinesiologist also, talking about saying, hey, this is a bad idea. Maybe, just maybe, because it's not me saying it, me injecting common sense that anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together could come up with. Now Michael Hooper said it. So I'm hoping that will end this entire trend. I'm hoping it will end all the quackery, and everyone will tell these people who are trying to sell it and promote it to fuck off. Because that's what you need to be doing. And then the influencers I see, some of them I see in my feed, I'm right here in the ice bath. I'm in my ice bath every day. Well, maybe that's why you're not getting any fucking gains. You know, I look at this influencer, and I'm not going to name names. I'm not even going to say if it's a man or woman, but I've seen them in my thing, and they're doing it. The same person complains that they've always felt like they haven't got good leg gains, and they've been self-conscious about not gaining enough muscle in their legs in their years and years and years and years of training. And it's like, I don't know, maybe if you didn't do stupid, trendy shit like this, that literally impedes your adaptation to training, maybe it'd be easier. You know, that's the problem, is that you see people, even these well-meaning people who are supposed to be fitness professionals, when they see a stupid-ass, dumb-ass, brain-dead fucking trend that goes contrary to what we know about basic biology, they jump on it. But the thing is, because they've done 17 others, then they wonder why their progress isn't ideal. Well, I don't know, because maybe you do dumb shit that contradicts it in spite of the fact that you're a professional. Just stop doing dumb shit. Because this really is that bad. And people are like, Jason, it's not that. Yeah, it is. Like, what delusional world do you guys think impeding the blood flow to tissues that need to adapt to training is a good idea? I understand if you're injured and you're trying to get swelling down. I understand in certain cases where you're trying to lower inflammation in the body because you got beat up in a professional boxing match or on the NFL field, and you're not trying to adapt to that. But if you just trained, so I'm going to say, well, because I did this 3-hour training session, now I'm super sore. Well, why did you do the training session? If you can't recover from the training session, why did you bother to do it? So what are you going to do? You're going to now blunt the training response by doing this? So you wasted all that effort, because you are going to reduce the response from it by applying extreme cold to these tissues. Cold therapy is not beneficial for athletes or for exercising, not for recovery from training. It's just not, and the data has shown this for years and years. This isn't even a new topic. How in the world this trend kicked off, I think it comes down to professional athletes, and people forget, they're like, but this pro athletes do it. Okay, pro athletes do everything. So when you go look at, say, an NFL player, they do 17 or 20 different things to enhance their recovery, hoping 5 of them work. And it doesn't matter that 15 of the 20 didn't work, because if 5 of them randomly help, it doesn't matter if they spent $100 grand. They got a $5 million contract. They need to do anything and everything. They need to use every drug they can get through testing that has any possibility of helping them, because they're trying to make millions of dollars. They need to buy into any quack, fraud, theory, anything that anyone promises can help with recovery. Doesn't matter if it costs them a few $1,000s. Okay? That should not be the basis of how you structure your own recovery. That should not be the basis of it. All these newest goofball trends, especially when they're not even based on real physiology. And I'm going to state again for the record, because some Scandinavian doctors put children with a fever in ice baths, that should not be the basis for how you recover from training. Because you're not a Scandinavian child with a fever. All right, this has been a rant. Been a little bit pissed off, but mainly I'm pissed off because of the dumbass arguments I've gotten back by people who want to ignore basic physiology. All right, guys, I'm done. I'll talk to you next time.